my peers, my directors, Kosyu, Sanjay, all my directors, and the producers who have given me this beautiful opportunity of giving me these wonderful roles that I was able to portray in the cinema, and especially, being the voice of Indian strong women on cinema. I think that is something that I've always chosen to do consciously or subconsciously. It always came into my lap and I grabbed it. Even your film, Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna, it was different, it was challenging, but I think it spoke about what a woman wants and what she chooses. And I think various roles of my career, whether it was Naina Mathur from Dikshi, whether it's Shivani Shivaji Roy, they depict strong Indian women, and that's something that I always wanted to portray through my films and in my career.
I got a call. 8 leading ladies had said no to me for Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. I had become like the most rejected first-time filmmaker because nobody wanted to do that part of Tina. I was trying very hard to convince them that it's pivotal to the film, it's important, it's a really crucial part. Nobody. All those 8 girls, and I remember each one of their names, and I thanked them that they said no. To me, I got a call one evening from none other than Aditya Chopra, who called me. He said, have you seen this new girl in this trailer of this film called Raja Ki Aayegi Barat? It's this song. She comes out and she does a gesture. This girl is a big star. So I was like, okay. I went and had a look and I said, she's a very pretty girl. And I went and met her, and of course the rest is history.
Yes.
The irony here is that it was actually Adi who called me and recommended me to you. I remember Ghulam. And you got signed. And the one thing in your favor for me was that you had this big Aamir Khan film. Right. And no one realized then that that one song from that Aamir Khan film and your presence in that film, and of course the film itself, is going to break ground and create and be the beginning of your stardom. That song, Aati Kya Khandala, I've heard you even sang it on a plane only because nobody knew that you were the leading lady. Is that true?
No, I think we were going for the movie premiere or something.
Those days there were no promotions.
There were no promotions. I think there were only premieres. And I think somebody asked me in the plane to sing a song.
And you sang Aati Kya Khandala in a plane?
Yeah.
Aati Kya Khandala happened. But the one thing we have to address, and it's the elephant in the room.
Yes.
They changed your voice.
Yeah.
And what were your thoughts and feelings at that time?
I think as a newcomer, you don't have much of a choice, because it was a really big thing for me to be able to do a film with Aamir and opposite Aamir, because he was one of the superstars then. So when Aamir actually, which I learned later from Vikram, who's my director, that actually it was a decision taken by probably Vikram, Mukeshji and Aamir, but they made Aamir become the bad cop, so to speak. And Aamir kind of explained to me that, for films, we have to sacrifice certain things for the best of the film, for the best of the movie. And probably your voice is not apt for the character or the role. And then he asked me who my favorite actress was. And I, without blinking, I said Sridevi. And he gave me an example how Sridevi's voice was dubbed in a lot of her films, but it didn't stop her from being the star that she became. So with that logic, he said, Rani, you must surrender to whatever is best for the film. And, we think that your voice should be dubbed. And it was a little
upsetting?
Upsetting for me, but obviously I couldn't show the fact that I was upset, because you need to be a team player whenever you're part of a film.
Absolutely.
And I think as actors, as technicians, we need to be part of a team. If somebody asks us for something, we have to be able to do it. And even if there are personal, say, disappointments, it doesn't matter as long as the intent is true for the film.
Correct.
And they went ahead and they dubbed my voice. But what was beautiful, Karan, which I have to tell everybody here, is that I really owe this to Karan. We were shooting for the trailer of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, getting teary-eyed.
Oh.
And
I will come kiss you. I remember that day. We were
Yeah.
shooting just so that you can compose yourself. I just said it. There was a teaser at that time. Again, it was
Yeah.
Aditya Chopra's idea. I think he's such a part of my entire journey, Rani's journey, consciously and
Yeah.
subconsciously.
Yeah.
He gave me the idea of that teaser where Rani's sitting with baby Anjali.
Yeah.
And where she says, Aaj main tumhe, if anyone remembers, there was a teaser. In those days, there was no such thing as teasers. But we shot this teaser against blue screen.
And I was on a swing.
Or rather, it was just a blue screen because we didn't know what VFX was then.
Yeah, and you made me wear a white churidar.
White salwar
as in I was the
kameez.
ghost
Yeah,
over
as the
there
ghost.
as well.
And where she says, "आज मैं तुम्हें एक कहानी सुनाने वाली
Yeah.
हूँ." इस कहानी में एक लड़का है,
Yeah.
लड़की है, दोनों
Yeah.
लड़ते थे, झगड़ते
Yeah.
थे, फिर भी एक दूसरे के बेस्ट फ्रेंड से. And then there was a line, फिर क्या हुआ? The guy, and she says, फिर कुछ हुआ. And that was the thing.
Yeah,
And,
and then you introduced Rahul and Anjali.
yeah.
So I remember at that shooting, you came up to me and you said, Rani, are the people dubbing your voice in Gulam? And I said, yeah. So he said, do you have a problem with dubbing, with your quintessential way of talking? And I said, no, I don't have a problem with dubbing. You said, did you dub your first film? I said, of course I dubbed my first film. So he said, I love your voice. The way you said it that time. And I still remember that clearly. He said, I love your voice and you will dub for my film. And thanks to you, Karan, that I was able to retain my voice.
No, you have such a beautiful voice, and everyone knows that Rani Mukherjee's distinct voice is one of the big parts of your amazing performances. Did it break your heart when you didn't win the National Award for Black?
I think it broke heart of all my fans. It broke my father's heart. It broke my mom's heart. I think the way I was and the way I've conducted my career, my life from the time I was a teenager, I started off being an actor because my mom asked me to be an actor. And I realized that through the work that I could do, I could probably give my parents a better life and see them happy and comfortable. And that was my dream for a few years that I kept working in films. Then when I realized that this is a serious profession and I used to get fan mails, that time there was no social media. We would only get to know through fan mails. And through my fan mails, I realized how important my fans believe in my work and how important it is for me to give them back what they want from me, and I need to do better films, better roles, better performances. And that's when I started understanding the seriousness of the profession. And when I started doing that, I think I had my blinkers on like a horse, and what I saw was just moving ahead, wanting to make my audiences happy, wanting to do the best for my films and make my directors happy because they are my first audience. And that was something that I kept doing with or without awards, because my goal was not to win a award so that it makes me happy today. I think winning awards is more about the recognition that the entire team of that film gets. Because if you are recognized, the team feels elated. The audience feels elated. But as an actor, I have to constantly keep working.
But it hurts.
It does hurt,
hurt.
but it doesn't become a criteria
Specifically because that year, Mr. Bachchan and Sanjay won.
Yes.
And, everyone felt, not just the fraternity, the audience space, everyone. Sometimes it's not in anyone's control, of course. Awards are...
But, Karan, I think it's good that it happened because
Why would you say that?
very earlier on in my life, I realized that even after you do your best work, you might not get the recognition that you deserve. And probably somebody else's performance is better than yours.
Yes.
And you have to keep striving for the best. You have to keep working hard. You have to keep doing your best. I think let's talk about how Mardani came into being.
Right.
I think we all remember the Nirbhaya case.
Yes.
And how it shook us all as a nation.
entire
I think the sheer audacity in which the crime was committed, it really made us angry. And in our homes, we were feeling the angst. We felt the pain that the child and the mother and the family went through. And it was shocking to us because before that, a crime like this wasn't probably, spoken about on media so openly. It was the first time that we got to know about a gruesome crime like that. And it really, really, it was traumatized. Like we were all traumatized by it. And I remember that time, whether it was Pradeep Da, whether it was Adi, whether it was me, Gopi the writer, I think Mardani was born out of the sheer anger that we all felt. and it was something that we wanted to say to the audience. We wanted to say to the girls in like India. We wanted to make something that was empowering, that made the girls feel that hope is not lost, and of course to also educate, to create or spread the awareness that these kind of horrible things are happening around us. Because many times, women shy away from watching this kind of content, or they feel that, oh my God, this is too disturbing. But I think it was so important to spread the message of awareness, and to protect, because the more conversations we have about these things, the more people get aware of these kind of crimes, because it takes that one wrong time for something bad to happen or something untoward to happen to a person. And I think Mardani was born out of that rage.